Right, here we are. VTOL. And we're going to have a look at the AH-94 attack helicopter. It's the... Oh, what is it? It's the download content. Right, so without further ado, so let me zip around these viewpoints till I get the right one. There we go. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to talk you through this because this is a nightmare. Right, so battery on, APU on. Let the APU come up into the green. Power this panel on up here and put it on stats. So we've got left engine, right engine, rotor, speed, torque. So let's start the left engine. And that'll start to come up on here. Now over here we can turn the rotor brake off and set this to idle. And now we should see these rotors start to power up. There they go. Turn a few more panels on while we're waiting. Okay, second engine on, right engine coming up. Come on, come on, come on. Let's turn the hood on. Okay, that's the second engine in. That to nav, that's on that. Power that up. Put it on waypoint. Turn RWR on. Talk to the tower. Turn your radio on. Tower, this is Alpha 11, vertical takeoff, over.
Copy. Taxi to runway 15.
Okay, let's bring that up. Alright, so that's power's up at full. Let's bring the rotors up, which is like so on this hand. And we are going that way. Oh, that's the plan. Trick with flying this is very small inputs and don't fly it on full collective because the rotor speed gets up there or the torque gets up there. Weird things can happen. Right, so we'll just keep the nose pushed forwards and head towards our target.
Okay, so the bad guys started sending troops into the area, and it looks like they're setting up little camps for their VTOL jets to rearm and refuel. We were able to catch it early, so they aren't fully operational yet. They don't have much beyond small arms, so you should be able to wipe them out no problem. The first one's deep in these woods by the foothills.
Right, so what I'm going to do is, because of the tree cover, I'm going to come around the back of that hill just to get some height and have a little bit of cover in case there's anything weird going on. Now you may notice there's another guy down there. Now I can swap seats with him at any time and I can fly the helicopter from down there. But if you go multiplayer, you can actually co-op with two of you in the same helicopter. So your mates will be down there in VR as well, and that it just gets a bit mind-bending. It's brilliant. Not the mind-bending bit, but the actual, you know, playing the game co-op. Okay. Gear up, brakes off, because I always forget those. I'm just going to put the APU off as well, while not crashing the helicopter.
They're getting real bold coming out of this side of the mountain range. Haven't seen them this far in years. Let's remind them to keep their hands to themselves. Now, I hope I don't need to remind you not to wander onto the other side of that tall ridge. They've got a huge network of air defenses and won't hesitate to send a fighter or three to intercept you.
It turns into Star Wars if you go over there. You don't last very long. So I'm just trying to get around the back of them so I've got a view of them around the back of this ridge line over here. I'm going to put in a hover and jump into the gunner's seat. I can use all the guns from up here, but I'll show you the front. Gun gimbal is on max, so I'm going to get a shot on them over there. Okay, we'll just sneak round the back and then get a bit of lock on and cause some fun and games. Sticking onto air-to-ground missiles, AH-94s. I've got 16 of them. So this is one of the training missions. I just did the first two objectives. Which is this one, which is pretty simple. Second one up in the hills. The third one is way over there, and it'll take me ages to get there. So rather than you sleep in, I'll just do these first two. So we'll just sneak around the back of here. We'll bring it nose on, and then we'll use this touchscreen for the autopilot lock. See what we can see. So current speed is 134 knots, we're 630 feet off the deck and we've got plenty of cover. Camera's locked onto my waypoint over there, so we're just seeing the side of this mountain. Now that the TAD system is actually on top of the rotor blades, so we can just pop our rotor blades above, or pop the camera above a ridge line and be really sneaky. Some speed here. So we come round. Another bit of a ridge line. Let's get on this, whatever it is, looks like a track. We'll just skew ourselves in there. Okay, I think we are good to go there. So altitude and hover. I'm going to switch over to the front seat. I'll turn these on quickly. TADs and
there you go.
Objectives.
Take out anything you see. Don't worry, that bullshot probably doesn't have any fuel.
Screen of interest. Zoom, 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 zoom. Okay, now we've got control. Can we zoom? As much zoom as we've got. Zoom out. Waypoint? Oh, it's over there. Right, I'm seeing it. Bring it on. Control, fire him. Let's just change our... okay, I've got something here. And that is their rocket launcher that I really need to take out. Okay, he's got 3 missiles off towards our air base, which is way over there by the city. Switch to guns. Slowly drag it across, got a tree in the way. Okay, so I can actually fly from up here as well. I just power this up, bring up my that, get rid of that. So look on the objectives, there's 2 left on there. See what we're missing, see if we can pick them up as we come in. That's it, mission complete.
Good, we'll now move on to Outpost Bravo. Remember to keep an eye out for man pads, you never know.
So I'm quickly going to switch to the other seat before I crash. You can play this, even though this is a training mission, you can play this in multiplayer. So let's put this on that next waypoint, which is going to be up in the hills. Stonking along here. Let's look at our stats. Yeah, we're doing alright here. Forwards, I think we need it on. We can zoom out. Pretty pictures down there. Let me just get back in control of this. Right, bring my visor up and I'll bring it down. It's a bit bright out there. So on this one, there's a trick to it. Don't go up the main valley because there is air cover up here. And you probably won't get up the valley, which is there. So come up the valley before and pop over the top of the hill. Have a quick look with your TADs, with your camera on the top of the rotor, get some targets and start firing away. We've got 9 AGMs left and a load of rounds. How many rounds we've got? Over 1,000. So the third target in this mission is that way up in the snow, but it'll take me about 15 minutes to fly there, so we'll skip that one. We'll just do this one and end it here. So I'm just going to give you some different views as we go up. So you're all going to sleep. Let me get one here. There we go. Can I bring that field of view in a bit? Yes. I'll sing along now. Doom dibby doom dibby doom. No, okay. Woo. So yeah, that thing you can see on top of the rotor is that big pod. That is the camera system. So as you can imagine, you can poke that just above the trees or just above one of these ridge lines and you can see over and mark any targets, especially if you're using things like laser designators and things like that, the more exotic weaponry. So I'm just going to bring it round and come up this here valley. So at the top of the valley you may just be able to see a little clump of trees, and I'm going to come out by there. That's going to give me a good sight line on these. Let's get this field of view. Just zoom in on the TADs. Okay, and you're back with me. So yeah, I'm just going to bring it up to those trees, put it in hover. Have a look at our next target. I don't want to get too high up, so it will just blow me out of the sky. Okay, we're getting pretty high up here. I'm just going to put this on our waypoint. So I can watch this camera here and I can see when it clears the ridgeline, which is going to be slightly before I do. And I'll just put it into a hover mode at that point. In fact, I'm going to put it in a hover mode. I'll get a bit closer. I'll get a bit closer. Put in a hover mode here, so now we can control our altitude with this and that. So I can't quite see over that ridge line. I'm going to zoom in. So we can. So we've got a little bit finer control of our altitude when we're in hover and altitude mode. The icon on the heads-up display does actually change. We can get ourselves to a nice firing position. This camera should be coming up now. And I'll just stick us in a hover when we're just clear of it. Okay, which is going to be there. Okay, so we're in a hover now. So I'm going to switch to the front seat again. Get on here. Get on here. And yeah, turn the screen on. Always helps.
Yeah, that's Outpost Bravo.
Sure,
Looks like they have a few
clear the
vehicles
ridge.
parked
Yes,
up
they
there,
do.
but no real resistance. Destroy anything you see.
Okay, you will be seeing stuff going off. I am leaning in so you can see a bit better.
You've got a couple of guys moving
As we
towards
look
those
over
bull
there.
sharks. If those things are operational, you're going to want to take them out before they take off.
I'll just rain everything in on them. Okay, that's me out. So let me just put this on day sensor, just give me a slightly better. There's one target left in there.
Okay, all targets
They're
destroyed.
all down.
We've got one last thing for you. We're aware of some activity in the high mountains.
We're not
and
doing
sounds
that.
a little worried. It's probably
But
nothing but
just
worth
so you
checking
can-
out while you're out in the area.
You finished?
Just fly to the waypoint and we'll give you some further instructions when you get there.
Thank you. So I've got my guns on here and we're zoomed in. If it locks on, great, but you can actually see the rounds going down. This is 4.15 nautical miles away. Look, it's snowing. At least 3 rounds hitting then. Okay, so we will go here, we will go here, and then we will lift this up. No, because we're looking at the wrong person, so we'll switch seats. That was a bit weird. Right, that's me you're looking at now, not the not the gunner sitting in the pilot seat. Right, so that's the download content, the DLC. I think it's called AH-77 or AH-94. Basically, it's the attack helicopter. It's like an Apache, if you like. But the big thing about it is there's co-op. You can have a pilot and a gunner in the same vehicle. You can have multiple helicopters with 2 pilots in each if you wanted to. And it's yeah, it's a whole different experience from flying the planes. Can get a lot more technical, but with VTOL it can be as technical as you want. I'm being quite basic with what I'm doing, but anyway, that's it. I now lean forwards to turn off the recording. Adios. In fact, let me move the camera over there. You can have a look what he's doing down there. Right, and yeah, adios.